never know how to start these shits. What's up, Internet? We're back here over at Red Rabbit Trading. My good buddy Mike with his, what'd you say, Frankenstein of a pan?
Kind of mutt of a panhead, I guess.
And we're going to go front to back on this bad Larry.
Cool. So, I mean, this was kind of a mutt. It kind of started life as a 56, but now it's just kind of a mess. Up front is the stereotypical Avon Speedmaster 21 mini spool, you know, shaved off the chopper starter pack. No headlight because it fell off a couple days ago and it's too hot in Texas to be riding anyway, so who gives a shit. The bars, I love the bars. You know, they look very straightforward, but they were built by Silverback Moto, polished stainless steel. Just kind of that look, you know, for the era of the bike that I wanted to do. Super comfy also for my height and stuff. You know, a little custom without it being too over the top. I love the paint. I love the tank. It was kind of like the main splurge on this bike. It is very chopper-esque, you know, black with flames. But in my opinion, one of the best painters in the game did it. Joey Kano out of San Antone, builds really dope bikes too. And it was cool. I just told him to go through whatever paint he had. There was no plan of attack and just let him do whatever. So he had this really weird, like, grandma purple with baby blue trim on it. Floorboards, because they're comfortable. S&S bottom end on it, because it's been blown up a couple times. No carb cover, as you can see. A lot of the old heads love coming up to me every time they see it, give me a big speech about how one grain of sand ruined whatever motor they had back in the day, blah, blah, blah. But originally, we're from Iowa, the Midwest, so there's not a lot of sand, dust blowing around. It's relatively humid, so didn't really have to mess with that. So anytime I've put anything on there, it doesn't run as good. It doesn't want a carb cover, so it's not gonna have a carb cover on it. It's been like this for 20 years. I think it's gonna be fine. Other than that, I was always obsessed with these pipes. They're just Paco, like kind of a little bit of kick out on the end. You know, I know they're not big and wild, but I just always loved those pipes even before I got this bike. So definitely had to have those on here. The seat is just this vintage Cobra that still has some squish in it. Whoever made it did a really good job. I think I just cobbed that off of like the old Chop Cult forums or something like that. Stereotypical fender. I really dig the sissy bar. It's got a little bit of flex in it, but the same cat that made the sissy bar made the headlight bracket too. Eric Vaughn at Destroyer Garage in Houston. It's a great builder, a little wacky stuff from time to time, but you know, gets the job done for the most part. So for the most part, this bike, it's just real straightforward, you know, very chopper, very traditional chopper, but no craziness on it really. Just kind of a rider, just a comfy rider for when it's not a million degrees in Texas. Just super comfortable, straightforward bike. And that's kind of it. And that was always kind of the plan with it too, was to not have a lot of fancy bits and bobs on it, just to have traditional, clean, kind of OG vibes. No muss, no fuss on it. And this has always kind of been the daily workhorse. It hasn't been through too many iterations because this was kind of the vision for it initially. When I got it, it was pretty hideous. It was kind of black and bronze kind of vibes, like very kind of like early Billy Lane wannabe kind of thing. We ended up putting the neck back. Eric at Destroyer did that. It had this like really terrible rake. that was full of Bondo, and it kind of had like a digger kind of setup on it, but it didn't really work on the bike. So for the most part, it was like, this is what it was always supposed to be, which is kind of like taking it back and knocking the ugly off of it. Thank God I don't have any photos of it originally, because it was pretty gross. So, and I think other than this main setup, once it got to here, the only thing that's really been changed is tank and headlight and sissy bar. Because for the most part, I just kind of felt like this is what I wanted and this is what this bike was supposed to be. In the day growing up, I always wanted a Panhead. I never ever thought I'd be able to get one. This one came up. I drained my bank account to get it. I think I even nickeled and dimed the guy because I had to pay for gas to get up and get it. At the time, it was a lot of money, but now I see what cones are going for. I think it probably made out pretty well. But so long as I don't calculate what I have into it, I'm pretty happy with this bike, and it'll stay like this, and it'll stay here until I pass away. So thanks for checking out my bike. There's nothing on the B-side. This bike is so straightforward. That's the thing, it's like this one, there's nothing interesting about this bike. It wasn't really supposed to be any like, oh, this is this crazy thing or whatever. Even the headlight mount, like, it's not necessarily my thing, but like, that's what Eric wanted to do. If you get the right headlight, it looks nice, but honestly, I want to put it back to where it has like the mid-70s eyebrow on it, and then just tuck the headlight back up in there. Same thing with the sissy bar. Like, I let him do what he does, so long as there was a little bit of constraints on it, you know, and it came out a little bit crazier. I mean, you know my shit, like, it's pretty straightforward, so. I mean, like I said though, since I never thought I was gonna have a Panhead ever in a million years, it was like, I just kind of wanted the, like, traditional straightforward Panhead. Like, I didn't want a weird ideation of it and then have to get another one to be like the more straightforward one. I just wanted to have like, this is probably the least valuable one out of the collection, but it's my favorite. Like, it's just the most straightforward one. It was put together for me, for like my size. It's just comfortable and straightforward, you know? So that's kind of it. I don't even think there's really any like, there's no fancy old parts on it or anything. I mean, just these things, but those aren't expensive. Oh, this was kind of funny because I didn't know that was on there until after I had the bike for a while, and then finally spun it around and saw it on there. But it used to be a mag bike, but I just had tons of issues with it, so just swapped it over recently.
All right, y'all, that was front to back on Mike's Pan. If you like content like this, don't forget to subscribe, like the YouTube. Go follow them at Red Rabbit Trading for all of your jewelry and silversmithing needs. Check out their page. Order some shit. At least order some soft goods. You know, support your local. And then follow us at Kickflips and Kickstand Podcast on Instagram. Follow this YouTube that you're watching right now, or subscribe to it so you can see more videos like this. Thanks. I'll catch you on the next one.